horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to do another movie review. It's time to review the current thriller film, The Little Things. Yes. Now, The Little Things is a 2021 neo-noir crime thriller film. It was written and directed by John Lee Hancock. Now, it stars this impressive cast here: Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. I'll get those names right one day. This is a very simple plot. Two cops, former LADS, Joe Deakins, and Jim Baker, join forces to catch a serial killer. Can't get any basic than that. Now, when it comes to cop thrillers, I love seeing complex ones, like, say, Seven, Along Came the Spider, or The Black Dahlia. They're very intricate, very complex films. Not the typical smash bang, bang 'em up action films that we see before in some cop films, or the buddy cop films like, Lethal Weapon or Die Hard. They are complex thriller films. We get to see the rugged detectives working on the case. They're chasing down leads and interrogating suspects. And we also get to see the killers play mind games, either with their victims or the cops, knowing that they're either smarter than the cops or they're simply just trapped in their own altered reality. Something's wrong with their minds. They really can't see what they're doing is wrong. All they see is their own beliefs, their own, you know what I'm trying to say here. Now, writer-director John Lee Hancock, who directed Saving Mrs. Banks and The Blind Side, brings us this latest in the subgenre, simply called The Little Things. Now, in this thriller, we're introduced to Kern County Deputy Sheriff Joe Deacon, played by Denzel Washington. Now, he travels to Los Angeles to pick up evidence pertaining to a recent murder there in that county. We later find out that Deakins was a top-notch LASD detective who retired after suffering a heart attack while he was investigating a series of murders. Now, he decides to stay in LA and help investigate a murder that's similar to the ones he was involved with, partnering with his replacement, the up-and-coming smart LASD detective Jim Baker, played by Rami Malek. Now, after some back and forth and comparing notes, they believe that they have a suspect in hand, repairman Albert Sparma, played by Jared Leto. We see during the rest of the film, they play this sort of cat and mouse game, and is he the killer or not? Well, we don't know, and that's basically what the rest of the film plays. Now, the one thing I did like about the film is the cat and mouse games that Sparma plays with Deacon and Baxter. Now, we know Sparma's guilty about something. He just looks that type of a character. Whether he's a killer or not is one thing, but he's simply enjoying driving the detectives crazy. And you really do have to give credit to Jared Leto's performance as well. He plays Sparma as a weird guy with certain quirks about him that would make anyone believe he's guilty about something. He's got some type of weird walk. He has this weird wide-eyed look. He does crazy things throughout the time that we see Baker and Deacon investigate him, that we know that he's guilty about something, but we don't know what. But Jared Leto does a great job in portraying Sparma. There is an interrogation scene during the second act of the film that shows Sparma's enjoying playing the type of games with Deacon and Baxter. It also shows that he's very intelligent and isn't going to fall the type of cop games that they tend to play with their suspects. He knows the good cop, bad cop routine. He knows that he can't be fooled, maybe because he's actually innocent or because of the fact he could be guilty. We don't know why, but I just love seeing Jared play Sparma with this man. Is like, I'm always one step ahead of the cops. Now, once again, Denzel Washington is excellent playing the burnt-out Deacon. He plays him as a man who's sad because he's still haunted by the case he couldn't resolve, and as the film reveals later on, the reason why he still suffers from it. There's something that happened throughout that case that caused him to have the feelings that he has. As for him, solving this case might be some type of redemption for him because he basically lost everything after his heart attack, as the film displays that. It shows that. Now, one of the problems I have with this film is Jim Baker, the hotshot detective assigned to the current murder that he and Deacon are investigating. Now, Rami Malek, who was excellent as Fred Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody and was excellent as the lead in the TV show Mr. Robot, plays Baxter as the straight-laced detective who wants nothing more than to catch the bad guys and to protect his daughters from the dangers in the world that he encounters. He's a straight-laced guy. He seems smart. He seems intelligent. He seems to know what he is doing. The problem I have is that if Hancock wanted Baxter to be the smart detective, then why does he allow Baxter to make dumb decisions that a detective like Baxter, or a real life detective in this matter, wouldn't make in the first place? There's something that happens in the third act, which I'll talk about later, that really goes against the type of character Baxter is, and I don't know what in the world was he thinking. Now, I got to thinking, and I remember watching Lee McCoy's Drum Drums video about this, and he says that, there's simply no way in the world that a detective that smart would make that dumb decision. And I do agree with Lee on that one, but I believe maybe Hancock is showing the audience that obsession that Deacon displays at times leads Baxter to make the decision that he makes in the third act because he was so desperate to catch the bad guy. Yeah, we've seen this before in other movies where we see a very smart detective or a very burnt out detective make bad decisions, such as that allows the bad guy to get away or makes them make decisions that results in something bad happening. And I can understand that point, but I just don't see it in this one. Baxter doesn't come off as a person who would make a bad decision, but maybe because he's so obsessed to catch the guy, that's the reason why he makes the decision that he does. But I think Hancock doesn't do a good job in portraying that. It just happens, and it's so against character type. Another problem I have with this film is that, and some people found it boring, but I found it to be very unexciting and just plain meh. I mean, nothing really happens. I mean, when you see thrillers like The Black Dahlia or Along Came a Spider or even Seven, there was something exciting about the characters. Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt brought excitement to those characters. And then, of course, we have, Kevin Spacey. When we found out who was the bad guy, he was exciting as a bad guy. Now, not knocking against Denzel Washington or Rami Malek or even Jared Leto. They do a good job in their performances. It's just that I guess it's mainly with the script that Hancock wrote. It just doesn't bring any juice, doesn't bring anything. He doesn't make anything that he doesn't make it that the audience cares enough about the victims, the detective, even Spartan himself. It's just there. It's just like, okay, I'm waiting, but nothing happens. I mean, it's a very paint by the numbers thrillers, but without any of the thrills you expect in this type of a film. Now, I've heard some comparisons with this and Seven, and I can understand based upon the characters that we have here. Maybe there's similarities between Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt's characters that we have here with Denzel Washington and Rami Malek's characters, but I really didn't see that. I didn't get the Seven vibes off of this one. So, despite an excellent cast and some good acting from Denzel, Rami, and Jared, it's Hancock's script and the lack of anything exciting that make this thriller, just one of those meh ones. So I'm going to give The Little Things 2 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Only going to give 2 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. This actually could have been a good thriller because we had some great performances. When you have a cast as good as this one, you have at least Academy Award winners with Jared Leto, Rami Malek, and Denzel Washington. You have good enough actors. But it's John Hancock's script. It's just flat. It's just not good enough. There's not enough meat on the bone to make it anything worth than what it is. And I'm glad that this is showing on HBO Max, because if I went to the theaters and saw this one, I'd be very upset because I lost a lot of money. So if you're going to see this one, don't go to the theaters. Just watch on HBO Max. So there you have it. That's my video for The Little Things. If you did like this video, please give it a like and share, because it does help with the algorithm, the YouTube's algorithm here. Also, what do you think about The Little Things? Have you seen it? Please leave your comments on the comment section below and tell me what you thought about The Little Things. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Minds of Monty G, and always remember that horror rules! And I'll see you in my next video. I am out.